Each session I've had, I listen over and over again, right? Just, you know, how sometimes you miss something or you hear it a different way, or you've expanded so you can hear something else. And so I listened to the first one the other day because I was like, you know, obviously I'm, you know, going 0 to 100 miles like in a really quick time. And so I listened back, and I think it was, I had, well, first of all, you know, I only found out less than a year ago that I had a hybrid child, but 15 years ago, probably, you know, when I first heard Bashar talk about them, I wanted to be a part of that so bad. Like just could not, like, I wanted it so badly. And at one point I just thought, you know what, even if I don't have children, I want to be a part of that program. I want to help in any way possible. And it was such a deep, deep, deep feeling from me. And then, so I had a opportunity, you know, finances, I didn't have an opportunity to ask channelers, right, to have a private session. And he offering them back. Well, he was offering them back 15 years ago, but not when I could afford it. So I finally, Rio, last July, I asked. And then when I had my session with Rohan, I was like, a couple of days or a day before, I'm like, he's first contact specialist. I knew I had Rosabelle. I wonder if, you know, there's a connection. And so I think 5 minutes into the session, I asked, like, it was part of my intention was to be of service to the hybrid children, because I was already sending energies to the collective for healing. So I knew my role was changing or expanding. So I asked him, and immediately it just fell right into, you know, well, you could start a community. And I'm like, well, there are already communities out there. Well, this would be a particular one. It would be about building a bridge. And then and then all the sort of symbols that I had prior to making that a session, booking that session, like crystals, an Atlantean past life connection. And so it all kind of unraveled during that first session. And when I look back, I was just like, wow, I can't believe how quickly, because he doesn't let on that we had a family connection, or, you know, like it's all, oh, you know, I don't know you. And then it's funny to look back and hear how it was so synchronistic and fun. So fun. I mean, there's some things, of course, you know, that maybe it's not time to share, or it's not for me to share, or, you know, that kind of thing. About being at the Skinwalker in the morning and having this really deep connection with my daughter is about soul connections. And when Rosabelle and I got up off the ground, because I was meditating, and then I brought her astrally to join me. And I had this really deep soul connection with her. And then I called Rohan to come pick us up for a ride. And I started to lose it. Like, my connection with him was also, you know, this expansive feeling. And he landed the ship, and he exited the ship, and normally I would walk towards him, but this time I couldn't move, and I basically sat on the ground. I was so, it was just so, you know, like emotional an experience. And all we could, you know, we sat down because I was not able to go further. So sure what the community, you know, the children have given me the name and the intention. And how that's, what I'm going to be sharing, that hasn't sort of been expanded on, but definitely things like that, or going on interviews and explaining, sort of what the children would like and who they are and what their purpose is, all those kinds of sharings. Yeah.
Yeah, it will unfold, right? It will show. It's an invitation put out by the hybrid children to you, and for you to bring us other earthly human body incarnated, and then we respond to that call. And so the hybrid children said, "Meet us at the Bosnian pyramids," and it's the children who decided that it were to be the Bosnian pyramids. I was explaining, I was saying that, yeah, so if the children had said, let's say Stonehenge in England, we would be going to Stonehenge, right? So that's why
That's right.
the location is determined by the children.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
it makes a lot of sense in many levels.
Did share this with in the Clubhouse call, about the arrangements. He said that the pyramids will bring the children, not physically for most, but there will be those of you who perhaps will have a physical encounter or contact. Yeah. So it depends, I guess, on where you're at.
Yeah, so that could happen for a few.
It's not the caretakers of the Yahyel, it's the caretakers of the children, so it would be the Yahyel, he said.
Yeah, so it would be a Yahyel.
Yeah. What those experiences are going to be with the energies of the pyramids, and, whether we meet space Linda, or, like, other than meeting our children and maybe a Yahyel, I thought the tall whites, you could ask the tall whites, are tall whites going to be there?
That was my guy. He said, "Oh, we'll be there."
I thought so. Are they going to be physically there with us?
Perhaps he pulls back a little bit in his energy.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Very visibly astrally, that would be really nice. That's holographic, like very vividly, visually. We would like that very much. C5.
Yes.
Will you guys do an open landing, please?
Oh, you're asking. Oh.
Okay. So they're talking about like permission. Not from us, but from their team. So they need to talk to their team about it, like, because it's a big decision. Can you figure it out? Give me an answer. Oh, it's my tall white. He says something like, we can't do that. Like the way he looks at me, is like really looking at me saying like, we can't do it. Right.
Even if they wanted to, yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like he would like to, but yeah, he's.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the vibe. And so I'm just looking at it, Louis, like, nope, the grays, they're also too different in their vibration. Who can we send? The Yahyel? Can you talk to them? Conferring. Oh, the lights. It's just okay, so he's talking with some Yahyels. I just sent the thought that talks about a Yahyel showing up. Would they be convinced to bring down a spaceship? perhaps that might be a possibility.
You could ask her if you're going to meet one of your children in the physical.
She asked me, would you like to? Yeah. Can I handle that?
Aw.
Yeah. I want to handle that. I want to. She smiles, that can be arranged. So I want that. I want that to happen.
Is there a name, a particular child that will represent the others that will come forward for you? What's her name? His name?
So I'm currently asking for two names that was channeled through Cici, but then I'm also asking Awore, like either them or one of the other children, whoever matches the situation best.
Hmm.
And I think we're gonna go with that, whoever matches the situation best. But I would also like to make the two others, of course, but I respect the whole vibration of, yeah, perfect alignment. All of them, yeah, that would be nice. What about Shama? Will she meet her forward hybrid child? Okay, I got the answer immediately. It's like because the tall whiteness vibration is sort of a little bit too, almost a little bit too alien to show up in that sense. But like physically, how can we shift the vibration to accommodate that her tall white daughter will come? Okay, she's talking about like really have to gear up and like really focus, and it's almost like an octave higher.
Yeah. So I have a tall white daughter. Okay.
She looks, I would say that because she looks, that's the 14-year-old. She's her skin is white as paper, but her
Oh,
hair,
blonde.
yeah, but her hair is blonde, but it's not paper white blonde. It's like
Dirty
normal,
blonde.
yeah, dirty blonde with paper white body. She's the one that comes closer. Can you arrive that day? It seems like again some energies needs to come in place, but you can show up in astral form. But yeah, okay, cool. So because you asked that, now they're working on making more races being able to show up physically that day.
Oh. So just asking whether our tall white babies will be there opens up that, expands enough to let that take place.
Yeah. So more alien type, more alien races besides the Yahyel.
Oh, I see. So you're not talking about hybrid children, you're talking about.
Yeah, I am talking about hybrid children. It's because some of the hybrid children, their DNA, the alien part of their DNA is maybe a little bit too far away, but
Yeah.
the other hybrid children where it's a better match. And I'm saying, could we expand it so the ones whose DNA is a bit more far away so that they can also come?
Oh,
It's more about ensuring that the humans were present, that their psychological
yeah,
but
yeah,
it doesn't. I'm literally being told they don't go bonkers
yeah, yeah,
as of
mm,
now.
yeah.
They would not be ready, and it would actually be it would be doing them a disservice.
Yeah, yeah. Also,
So
my energy, like I'll be peaking, my frequency will be peaking before the pyramids. So, and energy is sort of my, from what I understand, my thing.
mm,
Uh, I don't know if it's a superpower or it's just the shamanistic, being able to attune into the energies. So hopefully that'll help too. I have a question for your counterpart. How do the children have a message for you and I about the pyramids? Solstice?
So as we're sitting in the tunnels, meditating, I see them come in and sit amongst us. They're showing me their physical, but I don't know, maybe they'll show up physical or they will certainly show up astrally and come like sit with us.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. So they're gonna join the
beautiful.
meditation.
Beautiful. That's exciting. Well, we should all sit apart a little bit so we can
Yeah.
make room for our children.
Yeah.
Aw.
I'm telling them they can sit on my lap.
Yes. With all these kids piled on our heads, right? Like our shoulders hanging off of us.
Just crawling around. Gosh, my oldest, she is 18 now.
Is she? How many do
Yeah.
you have?
23.
No. Oh, your oldest I thought you meant Earth child.
No, I don't have any Earth children. Between 5 and 18.
Hmm.
Yeah. How many do you have?
Well, Ryo did not answer me. He was very vague and just, Rosabelle is who you're bonded with the most. And that's all he would give me. And I asked, did I ask Rosabelle or Rohan? Oh, yeah, I think, and 23 came up, which I think is, yeah, and James has 23. And then I asked my counterpart if how many children, tall white babies I had, and he said 3. So that's to be confirmed, but that's, yeah, it's a question I've had. I keep having the question each session, but we never get to it because there's so much, other stuff that needs to get addressed first. And I'm supposed to focus on Rosabelle, not my other children at the moment, right? Yeah. Well, I think by then I'll be telepathic, to be able to carry a conversation without doubt by then. Yeah. And I'll be receiving more energies when I'm at the pyramids as well, is what I've been told. Yeah. Because we're going to that reality where this becomes more real. And I was going to say, even the way Rohan explained it to me, anytime I have conversations with community, members, or post something online or meditate and connect with Rosabelle, all of those actions are like building blocks in a foundation for a house for the hybrid children. So I was thinking about this today, how you and I are building, we're adding blocks to this house right now in this interaction, which is so beautiful and exciting.
And I'm also like seeing again and again that this contact is actually very much on our terms.
On
Like,
our terms?
yeah, I mean it's started by the ETs, but and now we got the memo that they're there. But now it's more like on our terms. What are we ready for? How do we want it? That's quite interesting because I think we have a tendency to, what will the ETs do? They're like, well, they're waiting for us to tell them what we want them to do.
Yes. Yes, and actually that really synchronizes with when I had this particular day where Rosabelle and I were very synced in communication. So she was right there with me the whole time. I could just have a conversation with her It was just, chat, like we could just, it was so freeing. It was just so beautiful. And then I had something happen that night, and I was blocked from that communication for a couple of days until yesterday morning. And I got from Rohan that, and I think Rosabelle, that once I cleared that, then it was still quiet. Like I wasn't feeling the same as before the blockage. And he said that it's because I'm looking within now for the answers, not going to them for the answers, which I found very interesting, which really matches up to what you just said, that we're participating, we're not, like saying, okay, what's next? Let me know what I need to do. It's more, look within to find those answers.
I'm also getting the word we look within, and we have absorbed this reality so much that we can take ownership in how we want them to approach us.
Oh, isn't that? I love that. Oh, yeah, that totally makes sense. Is it ready to be trusted, do you think?
Well, it depends on which pockets of groups of people we're talking to.
I think just you and I for this situation, that you and I want this, they trust that we want this, and
yeah, we could handle if they walked in the door now.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people in the spiritual UFO community could handle that.
Yeah.
Because they're very focused on working on their vibration. But and also in Bashar's description of the protocol of first contact, there'll be like small pockets of individuals where the first contact will happen. And I think we are those pockets of humans.
Yeah, right. I guess my question would be for your counterpart, are there other pockets that we aren't aware of? And are we going to come together at, different groups?
There are pockets, but they're sort of the ET channelers. The people who follow that work, these people are located on the planet, like they will come together there with each other. But they will be extracting the information and the guidance from these UFO ET channelers. Yeah. Yeah, it's just really blessed, and such a humble honor to be part of all of it.
Yeah.
And what do you know?
Yeah.
What a story to tell our grandkids!
Yeah. There'll be lots of people and beings who want to hear the story.
Granny, can you tell a story about when you met the first time you stepped on a spaceship? Get around.
Yeah.
I might be smoking a pipe or something like that, like Gandalf style.
Going inward and doing all the healing work, but it's also because because your outer world hasn't been great, like the experiences, so it makes you go inwards. And he said, now is the time, and I think about that space travel meditation where I'm like, re-listen to it, because that one section where he sings, and after that he goes in a very resonating kind of voice, be brave, be yourself. I can't repeat it, but And I really resonated with that, because when you're like, whoa, I don't want the spotlight, I don't want people giving me that attention because that can mean pain. And so now is the time to embrace that and to let go of your fear.
But it is the function that we're gonna have, and being ready for that, and yeah,
And staying grounded
yeah.
during that, so that you can take the different energies that come at you.
And I can see why I'm a good candidate. And I think I would be a good candidate even if I did not have C5 over here.
Yeah. Well, I would imagine that space, Linda, you know, the work we're doing there is also reflective of what you're to do here. So, you know, the children are familiar with you, like, you know, the Yahyel, the Grays, like, you know, we're very deeply involved on that end. Whereas some other C5 beings may not be, you know, to the same level.
I think I've grown into it so much, and it has grown upon me, and I've grown. Growth goes both ways.
Yeah.
That is just very normal, and it maybe could not be any other way.
Yeah.
We are ready, Shama.
Yes, we are. We are. And I think more and more each day too.
Yeah. Oh, very much so. I think I will tell our lovely friends thank you, so because they're
Yeah.
sort of waiting a little bit. Awore, thank you so much. She's so loving. Thank you for showing up. And the two hydrogen. I actually think I know you. You're mine. I'm not sure you're mine. You feel familiar. Thank you so much. You're so always. Want to give her a kiss on the cheek?
Oh, sweetness.
No. And he gives you a little flower.
Oh.
And bye, guy.
Love you.
He said, see you later, babe. See you in Astro later. And I'm a. Okay. This is just like elegantly. Oh, cool. So awesome. Then
This
it's
was
you
so
and me.
wonderful.
Yeah.
I really appreciated this communication. It was wonderful. And of course, very much so about the help that you've assisted me with my healing.